Folks, thanks for coming on the line with us today. My name's John Dubas with Premier Marketing, and we'll be spending the next hour or so discussing the ways that Medico, with their product portfolio and excellent agent support, can help you make sales all year round in the space we share. A bit of housekeeping notes. Today's presentation is being recorded, and it, along with a lot of the information that we reference throughout the course of the presentation, will be sent to all who RSVP'd to today's presentation, and the recording link will be included in that follow-up, but also be available on our YouTube channel and on our website as well. If you have questions as we go through the presentation, please make use of the questions box in your system, as all callers are muted. We get background noise otherwise, and sometimes while we love our pets, not everyone else on a presentation does. So we'll spend a little bit of time making certain that you have all the information that we present today. A bit of background about Premier Marketing. We are a national marketing organization founded in 1968. We're part of the Integrity Marketing platform that has offices across the country, and we act as an insurance wholesaler working with independent insurance agents, providing contracts and access to carriers at the highest possible commission levels, with recruiting contracts available to those who qualify. As I mentioned, we were founded in 1968, so even though we're nudging into 2020 now, we've recently celebrated our 50th anniversary, which we consider a major accomplishment for an organization that started out as a small family agency in rural Nebraska. So things have changed quite a bit since then. We're one of the major producers in the Medicare space for both Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and ancillary products. And we are grateful to the relationships we have with the agents that helped us do so. We do so through a full insurance portfolio that includes a full gambit of Medicare programs, including those in the Medicare Advantage space, the alternatives in the Medicare Supplement space as well, and the ever-present need for prescription drug coverage through the standalone PDP programs. We do have a full portfolio of life insurance and annuity products that includes final expense life insurance and pre-need plans. We also offer long-term and short-term care programs, disability income plans, and ancillary benefits for those needs not covered through some of the base medical programs, including dental, vision, and hearing plans, critical illness cancer programs, and hospital indemnity programs. That Medicare Advantage portfolio includes all the big boys, national players across the country, and many of the strong regional carriers that can make a difference to you in your market, with that same philosophy carrying over into the standalone Part D PDP space. So you have access to all those carriers through our organization. That Medicare Supplement portfolio is very robust and includes tools that can make a difference to you in your market. And excuse me, I'm distracted. I've got someone who can't hear anything, and I'm not certain what the challenge is. You might check the dial-in for the audio or access it through your computer system. So as we go on through the Medicare Supplement portfolio, many of those tools can be very helpful for you and to you, but that ancillary product can be a very valuable component, not only reaching out as a door opener, but also to fill those cracks and holes in the base coverage for whatever type of base medical coverage your prospects and clients have selected. It has the named carriers in each of those categories, including our valued partner of today with Medico. When we look at the Medicare market overall, you don't come on a program like this without hearing about the aging of the baby boomers and a person every 11 seconds turning 65. But if we look at the Medicare market by itself, age is not the only indicator, even though that's a very near exponential growth in that portion of our world. There are folks under the age of 65 who are covered by Medicare as well and are in need of our services, about a sixth of that population. So it's really a large number that is very diverse in the things that make up the people that are part of it. They have some challenges when it comes to their health, and sometimes they have some challenges when it comes to their income as well. So having a diverse portfolio of products can really help you sell and save and serve the population that we share. Bear with me. Because when people become eligible for Medicare, and even though it is generally a program for people 65 and older, they have choices that they can utilize in order to get additional coverage. Some folks choose to defer even base medical coverage under Medicare because they may be still working or have other coverages, but those choices include doing nothing other than picking up original Medicare, or working through the original Medicare channel and picking up a Medigap policy and perhaps a PDP program, a Part D prescription drug plan as well, or they can go the Medicare Advantage route and access their Medicare benefits through private insurers. It's a choice that's been split pretty evenly across the board. That research tells us that it's about an even split for Medicare Advantage and MedSup, with a portion of the population not making a decision at all. So as we look at who we reach out to and how we help, we have to keep in mind that there may well be people past the age of 65 who have made a decision. I had an old sales manager in my days with Prudential who used to tell me the decision to make a decision is a decision. Some folks don't, and so that decision is made for them, and so those are people we can help down the road as well. And it's important to note that no one decision is right for everyone. As the statistics on a previous slide mentioned, well, we've got choices, so do the people that we work with, and it's important to work with those people to help them with the best coverage that they can afford and suits their particular circumstances. One of the things that we're seeing as well, and pardon me for bouncing around here, is some of the changes have finally come about by the macro legislation that was passed in 2015. Effective as of the first of the year, it doesn't necessarily totally sunset plans, but it is something that we have to be aware of when we work with folks in the Medicare supplement space. So the newly eligible have a couple of choices that are restricted from them, but the other folks, well, we can still work with them in that space for all the products that are there for them. And keep in mind that some of the products are available in certain states and some are not available in others. And in the Medicare supplement space, some different rules will be applied based on regulations within certain states. Medico does a very good job of helping us understand those macro changes, and this is some of the material I referenced earlier that will be coming to you as part of the follow-up, so we can have the material there to reference when it comes to how do we handle these circumstances. Some really nice pieces, some of the best that I've seen in the industry. So what we'll do today is basically speak of the options that we have with Medico to make sales throughout the year and to make certain that the support that is available through this carrier is known to us and that we access it and make it part of what we look to do. I'm going to shift to another presentation to make certain that we have color, well, in just a second, as soon as I properly introduce our guest speaker. We have the sales director from Medico, Ms. Carrie Habensock, who is going to do something that is very tough to do, and that's shut John Dubois up and speak intelligently to the program that we have in play. So I am going to pop this open, change presenter. Carrie, I'm turning the helm over to you.
All right,
and
good.
There we go.
Thank you. I appreciate the time here today. Unfortunately, I am not seeing my screen there.
Nope.
John,
so I think we will go to Plan B with the next.
Yep. Unfortunately, yeah, technical difficulties here, but I'll go ahead and kind of reintroduce myself, but thank you, John. My name's Carrie Havensock. I'm one of the sales directors here at Medico. And I really appreciate John and the opportunity that he is presenting to me in order to get in front of you to help you understand what you have available to you coming off of AEP to keep those sales going, to keep yourself in front of customers, and really focus in on creating customer loyalty. Again, coming off of AEP, this is a great time of year to be able to do annual reviews with all of your customers and talk about additional plans that you can get into that particular household. And John did mention ancillary products, which is really what we're going to be focusing in on today, which will help fill those cracks and holes like he mentioned. So if you want to go to the next slide, that would be great. So if you're not familiar with Medico, one thing I will mention, if you're not contracted with Medico yet, I would encourage you to get with John and get contracted. That would be your first task. And then just to help you understand a little bit about what Medico stands for, that would be what you're seeing on the screen now, people, products, and platform. But the most important thing there being the people. You, number one, as agents, we know exactly where our bread is buttered, and know that's exactly how we grow our business is when you are successful. So you will always have access to our agent support team. You will always have access to our underwriters, which is very important. Our underwriting team actually very much values when you as agents call them to maybe pre-screen a client that you might know a little bit about their health history. And then you'll know for sure and be very comfortable when you go into that household knowing that that product is going to actually get through our underwriting team. Of course, the products, we're going to touch on a few today. And then the platform, the main thing about our platform that we offer to you is a tool called My Enroller. And what that allows you to do is very easily enroll your customers in multiple different programs at once. And when we switch to the next slide, I'll just let you know, this is really what makes, kind of sets up what we're going to talk about today. And I mentioned in the beginning that whole customer loyalty. And when you look at these numbers here, what this is telling you is that you have a 35% chance to keep a particular policy in a household if you just have one plan with that particular group of people or household. If you increase that to 2 policies for those customers, you have now a 56% chance of keeping them for a lifetime. And when you sell 3 or more plans to a household or an individual, now you have, and I'm just going to round it up to 100% chance of keeping those customers for a lifetime. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If we go to the next slide, it kind of sets up the fact that most likely you're going to be talking about your health care plan or a health care plan with your customers first. So we'll kind of set it up that way here in our discussion today. And then we'll move into the opportunities to sell additional plans like dental and also hospital indemnity. So there's a growing opportunity in the senior market. What that looks like, it would actually be on the next slide with a very colorful pie chart. And I'm sure you're all very familiar with the numbers and how they stand today with 10,000 individuals turning 65 on a daily basis. There's actually been a 15% increase in the number of Medicare eligible since 2013, so just a few years ago, right? And you can see there on the pie chart with Medicare Advantage being the type of product that is growing at the fastest rate. But MedSup clients are also steadily growing as well. And if we go to the next slide, it puts it into a different perspective. So again, going back to that 10,000 number, baby boomers turning 65 every day for the next 15 years. So if you look at today's rate, that makes up about 15% of the total population. When you go just 10 years ahead, so in 2030, that's going to equate to about 20% of the total population, or 80 million Medicare beneficiaries for you to talk to. And by 2060, that's going to equate to 23% of the total population. So then we don't necessarily, we right at Medico offer Medicare supplement plans, which of course we would like you to focus in on, but we understand every customer has a different need. And there is a healthcare plan out there for everyone, and it could be one of the many MedSup options, which we'll just shortly cover today, or again, some type of MA plan. And this is a topic where customers, of course, want your advice. So a Medicare 101 conversation is a great door opener, even if you don't necessarily specialize in the senior market. You're already helping your customers understand network restrictions, out-of-pocket expenses, deductibles, and of course, all those other factors that go into deciding what type of healthcare plan you're going to help them choose, like whether or not they want to keep their own doctor and any timelines for changing plans. So when we talk about cross-selling, if we go to the next slide and then the one after that, the tool that I talked about earlier is My Enroller. Oh, okay, never mind, we're not there yet. So first of all, we're going to just touch on MedSup and then kind of set up ways to then alter that conversation into how to then introduce ancillary plans such as dental and hospital indemnity and even cancer plans in some cases. So you know the difference between, Plan F, Plan G, Plan N. Here at Medico, we actually really focus in on Plans G, Plan N, and we are also looking at that underwritten conversation or that underwritten customer at age 68 and over when they have the opportunity to switch. Maybe they're looking for a lower rate. Maybe they are looking for a company with better service. Maybe they are coming off of a Medicare Advantage plan because they didn't fully understand all of those out-of-pocket expenses that go along with those types of programs. So they're looking to switch to another carrier or plan. And you can see at the bottom of the screen what the kind of just average price difference is between those three different plans. So switching to maybe from a Plan F to a Plan G to a Plan N, they have the opportunity to obviously save some money. So if we go to the next slide, then we kind of set up, even if you were to add in the Part B deductible costs that are associated with both Plan G, Plan N, you're still looking at a significant savings if you're going to be switching from one plan to another. And even if you add in a couple of doctor visits for the Plan N, you can still see the plan savings there, which then opens up that door for a dental, vision, and hearing, a cancer policy, or say a hospital indemnity, which is actually getting pretty popular with even adding those on to Medicare supplement plans these days. We can switch to the next slide. Oh, before we leave the Medicare supplement topic, let's go ahead and talk about the fact that we are running a program, an incentive program that will run through the first quarter of this year. There are a number of states, I think we kind of quickly went over the chart of the states that where we do offer a Medicare supplement plan, but it is in the majority of states. And we do focus in on some key states where, especially where we're located here in Nebraska, Iowa, pretty much the Midwest, Colorado, and then on east where we do have particular plans available. But we are offering an incentive program that will pay you, after you hit a minimum of 5 applications in a given month, $100 for each of those underwritten applications. And I also do, before I leave MedSup as a topic, want to make sure you understand there is also discounts that are available to your customers if they qualify for our household discount. And how that would happen is when your customer lives in lives in the house with another person over the age of 18, that individual automatically qualifies for either a 7 or a 12% discount, depending on the state you are selling the product in. And that other person does not need to be issued coverage or even apply. So with that, then we will switch to a different topic here. Okay, so we're going to get over to the cross-selling, or that whole loyalty conversation of increasing the number of policies in a household, which can be very, very easy to do when you've got the right tools And what I mentioned earlier, our tool called My Enroller, this allows you to sell over the phone. It allows you to sell face-to-face. And it's just really as easy as a check of a box, right? So if you are looking at switching a current customer to one of Medico's Medicare supplement plans and then also want to add a dental product, you're just checking 2 boxes, and then it will create basically one application for both of those products and very easily take you through how to enroll them. There are voice signature options, there are electronic signature options, again, which just makes it very, very simple for you to utilize that tool. So one of those products that you might be cross-selling might be dental insurance. And we're just going to spend a short amount of time on this particular plan. So if we go to the next slide, this really sets up why you would want to talk to every one of your current customers about a dental product. And especially one that would include vision and hearing coverage for basically about the same price as what just a pure dental plan might look like. These are what the average cost of dental services are within basically a national view of this. So if you look at, bridges costing upward of, almost $3,700, crowns, say the average there, $1,500, even cleanings, $130, where you could be needing those twice a year. You can see how these services very quickly can add up. And I'll show you a slide here in just a few moments here that will kind of give you an idea of what an annual cost for all of these services could look like, and then how a dental, vision, and hearing plan would mitigate those costs. We'll go ahead and go to the next screen. So really quickly, just the plans themselves that we do offer. I'm just going to focus in on one of them because the vast majority of agents do really focus in on that one that I've circled there, the DVH plans. The reason why is that whole loyalty factor, or keeping these products on the books with customers. And the reason why they are gravitating towards this particular product is you can see when it says coverage year, 60% paid year 1, it increases to 70% year 2, and then increases to 80% paid years 3 and after. And again, that just, it keeps products on the books with you, keeps them on the books with us as a carrier, just creates that loyalty between your clients to you and then to us as the carrier. So you can see the different options. You can choose $1,000 or $1,500. That can be paid for dental, vision, and hearing services. I'm not going to go through the product in detail other than, again, you can see that step-up coverage year after year, no waiting periods for basic or restorative services. There is a 12-month waiting period for major services, which is pretty common within the industry. And again, when you move to vision and hearing, you also see that same increasing coverage year after year, which, again, I cannot stress enough, it is designed that way to keep these products on the books with you as the agent of record. Okay, we'll switch to the next slide. One thing you will want to know that is kind of a product differentiator with this particular plan is that there is a network that is associated with our product portfolio, and that's the Carrington or Dentamax network. However, it's not required that your customers utilize a provider within this dental network. We will pay those same amounts or the same percentages of the cost of services even if your customer wants to keep a dentist that does not happen to be within the network. So it's kind of that passive provider mentality when it comes to these particular plans, which is nice. Your customers have choice that way. Next screen. And of course, you'll want to know what the cost of these particular plans are. And again, I've just kind of circled one number there, and that is, again, the most popular product that's being sold today is that $1,000 dental, vision, and hearing plan. The vast majority of individuals who are issued this coverage are between the ages of 65 to 79, which is why that $35 number is circled there. We do have this product available up to age 89. And just to let you know too, there is also another type of product that is available to you to sell that does have a $2,500 annual benefit, and that is that Dental Plus column on the right side. The great thing about that particular plan is, of course, the $2,500 that is available for dental, vision, and hearing coverage, and that product will also cover implants for your customers. And more customers are asking for those types of plans these days as well. So that is available to you. I don't want to forget to mention that. Okay, next slide. Sorry, I'm not seeing the next slide that comes up here. Maybe we're just kind of on a slow stream here. Okay, so this is the slide that I mentioned earlier. That kind of shows you what an annual, a customer that might go and see their dentist, say for 2 cleanings. That's what you're seeing there on that first row. They find out that they need a filling. They find out they might need a crown based off of those visits. And then if they've got the coverage, why not use it? A vision exam would be in play there, and also a hearing exam. And then based off of that hearing exam, they might find that there's a hearing aid in order. So with all of that being said, total out of pocket for all of those types of services would equate to, again, on those average numbers that we looked at earlier, over $3,700. There are some MAPD type plans that do have some co-pays that might help with some of those types of services, but still you're looking at, on just an average basis, over $2,300 that would still be out of pocket for all of these services that your customers would be needing. If you went with, if the customer has a Medicare supplement plan, we all know that that's still, there will be no copays available on that particular product, and the cost goes back up to that full $3,700. But with a $1,000 dental, vision, and hearing plan on the right side of that screen there, it shows you exactly what would be paid for. And then the box or the little circle bubble down at the bottom shows what the total savings would be for those particular services. Over almost $2,000 would be saved by having a dental, vision, and hearing plan. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. One thing I want to mention before we leave the dental, vision, and hearing topic is the fact that you have access to generate your own sales, a dental sales site, I'll just call it that. We already talked about My Enroller and how easy that is to use. What you're seeing on the right side of the screen is what your dental sales site would look like. If you go to, once you're contracted and go to your profile on our agent portal, you will click 2 buttons and this particular site will be generated for you automatically. It is great because you can send it to existing customers. You can send it to a list of prospects. You can send access to this through social media. You can put it you know, as a link in your email signature. There's just many ways that you can get this in front of your customers. And then if we go to the next slide, you'll see exactly what your customers will see when they open the link that you would send them. Once they fill out the information themselves, after you've maybe started the discussion with them, they know exactly what to look for when you send them this link. Your name, your phone number, all of your contact information is associated with your particular microsite. Once your customer signs themselves up for a plan, if you go to the next slide, you'll see exactly how the plans will be presented to them. They select a plan, they fill out the application, and then once that is completed, you will get a confirmation that they have signed up for, say, again, the $1,000 or the $1,500 dental, vision, and hearing plan. You'll get confirmation of that, and then you will also receive the commission for that particular sale. So there's multiple ways that you can sell this particular product that makes it super easy for you to get dental plans in front of every single one of your existing customers. And again, first quarter is the best time to talk to your customers about these ancillary plans that can be added on to their existing coverage. Great time to set up annual reviews to maybe go through all of their total out-of-pocket expenses that they currently are subjected to, and how you can now with ancillary plans start to fill those gaps and those holes. And one other way to do that is hospital indemnity, which is on the next slide. And this particular product was originally built to pair very well. Actually, you want to skip over this particular slide. We'll go into hospital indemnity. How hospital indemnity was originally designed was to pair very well with a Medicare Advantage plan. And that's exactly how we'll talk about it for the most part today. Do also realize, though, that there are ways to design smaller plans or smaller benefit amounts to pair well with Medicare supplement customers. And I'll actually show you an example of that towards the end of the conversation today, to just give you an idea of what that might look like, to just give those customers some extra coverage on top of what they already have access to with their MedSup plans. But we'll just go ahead and take a step back and look at the number of Medicare Advantage enrollees and how those numbers have grown every year. And of course, knowing the market opportunity is going to continue to grow for the next 15 years with that whole 10,000 individuals turning 65 every day. And Medicare Advantage enrollment has actually doubled over the past decade and has risen to 34% of Medicare beneficiaries. If you look back just a couple of years between 2017 to 2018, the number of MA plans increased about 8%, or if you really look at that as 1.5 million individuals. This type of enrollment is just going to continue to rise. The numbers are projected to be about 42% of Medicare beneficiaries over the next decade. So if we go to the next page, then we're looking at out-of-pocket maximums. Of course, those are increasing too with the number of Medicare beneficiaries selecting Medicare Advantage plans. The average out-of-pocket maximums on these types of plans is about $5,200. And that was really over the last 5 years, that average increased to about that amount of $5,200. And a lot of plans today still have that maximum out-of-pocket limit of $6,700. So there's a really big chunk there that, again, ancillary plans like hospital indemnity are designed to cover, which especially the biggest part of those out-of-pocket expenses, which is the hospital copay. The next slide does show you some different information that might help you when you sit down with your customers and it helps set up the reason why they need this particular type of product. This is results of a study that was recently done for the number of seniors who say their healthcare costs over just the last 2 years has caused serious financial problems. And this study was done with individuals who actually do have insurance. So 44% of these individuals said they had to set up a payment plan with a hospital or healthcare professional. 42% spent all or most of their personal savings. 27% say they're unable to pay for basic necessities like food, heating, and housing. 23% took on credit card debt that is going to be hard for them to pay back, and 7% actually had to declare bankruptcy because of their healthcare costs over the last 2 years. So there is a way to mitigate those expenses, which is a hospital indemnity plan. And I'm going to be going out on a limb here. I'm going to be pretty biased in my next comment. And this particular hospital indemnity product, if you're currently selling one, I'm going to tell you that what you're going to see right now is the best plan out there. And the reason I say that is because of, number one, the price, and I'll show you an example of what that looks like. You're going to find that it's lower than pretty much other programs that you're going to be finding out there, hospital indemnity programs, but also the benefits that are included in the base plan, which is what we're looking at here, but then also some additional benefits that can be added to the plan to make it even more robust. So let's just start with the base plan. And I'm not going to go through detail by detail, but just to let you know how it works is that you're going to, the way it's set up is you can pair it very well to a Medicare Advantage plan and help cover those hospital out-of-pocket expenses. So you can choose between $100 to $600 per day. And then how is it going to pay? Is it going to pay for days 1 through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Even 21 and 31 days can be selected. I will tell you right now, the most popular plan is $300 per day for 6 days. So keep that in mind as we kind of walk through this information. So this product will also pay 100% of that inpatient amount that we just talked about for a maximum of 6 days per year if your customer is coded under observation, which more and more patients, when they go into a hospital, are going to be coded under observation, even if it is for just 24 hours before they move to inpatient status. So we are going to pay this.
That we had challenges with the system. You're back.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that if you lost me there, we were talking about emergency room benefits, which you can see the benefit amount there, mental health benefits, and then travel and lodging, which the way this works, if your customer does happen to live 50 miles from a place that they need to receive treatment, we will help pay for mileage for them to drive to that facility. We will help pay for a hotel room for a spouse if spouse needs to go along while maybe a procedure is being done. It will also help pay for maybe a flight to some sort of like Mayo Clinic that would not be within their particular area. You can go ahead to the next slide. Again, this is really what makes it very, very robust, is the fact that you can add on additional benefits like ambulance services. This is one of the most popular ones. You can have it paid $250 per day up to 4 days per year. This would be for air and ground ambulance services. Outpatient therapy or physical therapy is another way to look at that. $50 a day for up to 30 days per year, which would now also include chiropractic services, which is awesome. You're not going to find that anywhere else. Outpatient surgery can be added up to $1,000 per day for 2 procedures per year. Skilled nursing. This is a great way to get skilled nursing benefits for your customers, up to $200 per day, and it will pay for up to 50 days. And that would, it's not necessarily per year, it'll pay for 50 days, and then it will also have a one-time restoration of benefits, which is awesome because say your client uses 30 days of skilled nursing. Once they are off of claim for 180 days, that full benefit of 50 days would be restored back to them one time per the life of the policy. Lump sum cancer, this is a great way to get a first diagnosis cancer benefit added to your customer's portfolio, up to $10,000 paid again upon that first diagnosis of a cancer while the policy is in force. It's easy to qualify for. We only look back 2 years in order for them to qualify for this particular benefit if they've had a cancer diagnosis in the past. As long as they've been cancer-free and not receiving treatment for the last 2 years, they would qualify. Then there's an urgent care benefit that can be added, and also some additional cash under the term of lump sum hospital confinement that can also be added to this policy. And I'll kind of show you some options here on how to work some of these additional benefits into the program. So if you want to go to the next slide. The next slide shows you just some average premiums. So at the top there, you see the inpatient and observation, because again, it pays the same either way. When you select just the base benefit, which would include payment for inpatient observation, mental health, emergency room, and then that travel and lodging, that most popular benefit combination of 6 days at $300 a day right now on a national average is around $16.12. If you were to add ambulance services, it's around $3 a month. The outpatient surgery, and I've just selected certain ones here. So this is the $250 per day option. That's going to be around $6 a month. The physical therapy with chiropractic services is around $4 a month. Skilled nursing, again, $150 per day for 50 days is going to be $11 a month. Again, you can go up to $200 per day on that particular benefit. The cancer plan, again, you can go up to $10,000 in face amount here. I just selected kind of that halfway point at $5,000. Is $8 a month to add that benefit on. The urgent care is around $3, and then that additional cash benefit is around $5 a month. So if we go to the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit about underwriting in the fact that there's a very short application. There's no phone interview, no drug screen after that app is submitted, no medical exam that's being done. Any pre-existing conditions that are not on the application, say those knockout questions, if you've got any additional pre-existing condition, they just would not be paid for the first 6 months, but then they would be paid for afterwards. And then there's a 2-year contestability period. And really all that means is that if you have a customer who, say, let's say goes on claim 6 weeks into the policy, and there's some additional underwriting that would be done at that particular time. So within the first 24 months, if there's a claim that happens to occur, some additional underwriting would happen at that point in time. And really the only thing you need to know here, if you've got a customer who maybe isn't as truthful as you would have liked them to be in giving you those answers to the application, that's really all we are looking for at that particular point in time. So after the first 24 months, the claim comes in, there's no additional underwriting being done. Another great point on this is there is a 7% household discount. The same definition applies as the one I mentioned earlier. Additional 7% discount that is available for any customer who lives with another person over the age of 18. If you've got husband and wife, or even just 2 people that live together and they both apply, they would both be issued that 7% discount. The issue ages are 40 to 85. That does not mean at the age of 86 they no longer have access to this. It just means that the product needs to be issued before their 86th birthday. And the premium is not going to go up each year like you would see on, say, a Medicare supplement. The premium is going to stay the same as it is at the time of issue. So the next screen does show just some different examples, right? So I mentioned this product really was designed to pair well with a Medicare Advantage product. It really helps you create a better full coverage type portfolio with their healthcare plan there. Let's just say you were to create a $250 a day plan for 6 days, you add ambulance services and you add outpatient surgery, which are the 2 most popular additional benefits that are added. On average, that would be $23 a month for that particular combination. Then if you were to look at maybe your Medicare supplement customers, this is a great way to give them skilled nursing benefits, and it also is a great way to give them, in essence, a cancer policy. You can provide some extra coverage from a hospital standpoint. Say you want to go down to the $100 per day, which would, for that base plan, is around $6 a month. Very, very affordable. Adding skilled nursing, adding a cancer plan takes that up to about $21 a month for all of that coverage. Then say you got maybe someone who is not even Medicare beneficiary age, they've got a major medical plan, they've got some sort of ACA program type, those types of plans. You can create some coverage for them when it comes to hospital stays, even going up to the $600 per day option, giving some of the additional cash with the lump sum confinement rider, and then ambulance services, and you would be looking at just $45 a month for that particular combination. So we'll give you just a quick example. If we look at, in this particular case, we'll say Anna, who is a 70-year-old grandmother. If she happens to fall one day and needs to be rushed to the hospital by ambulance, what you'd see here is what her costs might be without a hospital indemnity plan. So if she was taken by ambulance, admitted into the emergency room, had, say, a 5-day hospital stay, and then needed some skilled nursing care after the fact, that total out-of-pocket expense at this point in time would be $4,450 in this particular scenario. But let's say on the next slide, you as an agent did help her choose a hospital indemnity plan, which paired well with her MA policy, which would give her, in this particular case, to cover those 5 days in the hospital. Say we would then pay her back $1,250. The emergency room visit would be covered under her base plan. And let's just say she had to travel more than 50 miles from her house to receive this particular care. We would have then paid her $500 a day to cover any transportation and lodging that they would have incurred. And let's just say the ambulance services rider was added onto this particular plan, then she would get $250 for that, and then $2,000 for those skilled nursing days that she had on the back end. So her total reimbursement would be $4,150 in this particular scenario. And we have a great worksheet that you can use to really help put a visual in front of your customers on what their out-of-pocket expenses would be without a plan, and then what they would be paid with a hospital indemnity plan. And that's what's on the bottom of that particular slide on that worksheet there. So then the next slide really just shows you her total out-of-pocket expenses based off of the last two slides we looked at. $4,450 total copays under her MA plan, what we would have reimbursed her on her hospital indemnity, $4,150, and then her total out-of-pocket expense for that entire unfortunate accident would have just been $300 on her end. Then some sales tools, just to let you know, there's many different postcards and brochures and letters and flyers that you have access to when you go through our agent portal. You can go through John to get access to those. You can also call our agent support team, and they can get those out to you as well, in addition to that particular worksheet that we've already mentioned. And I think we have two more slides we are going to discuss here, maybe three. First being just the commission that you would be paid on top of a little incentive program that I will mention. Just to quickly go over this particular information here, say you had say you've got all these customers that you have currently on the books. You go back and talk to every one of your existing customers now in the first, second, and third quarter, and you happen to sell just one application per week. That would equate to around $10,000 in commission for those one policy per week being sold. Then during AEP, if you just sell to, like in this case, if you have 80 customers you're seeing during AEP this coming year, you add hospital indemnity to half of those during that particular point in time. That's another $9,200 in commission for almost $20,000 in commission, in essence, for just selling one application per week in this particular case. So the number could be a lot higher if you're selling more. So the incentive program, in addition to commissions, is on the next page. And what we're looking at here, in addition to the Medicare supplement incentive that I mentioned before, the bonus, this does show you that there is an incentive program that is going to be paid throughout the entire first quarter. So once you have sold 3 applications during the first quarter, so you've got 3 months here, you're going to get $25 for each one of those applications up through 9. Then you can see 10 to 14, you will get $35 for every one of those. And then up to 24 would go to $50 for each application. And then you can see the 4th tier there as well. The bonus is retroactive back to that first application, which is awesome. So if you happen to hit, say in this case, you've got the example there on the screen, 16 applications by the end of the first quarter, you will have been paid $50 for every one of those. It's not tiered as you hit each different level. It goes back to that first application, which is awesome. And that'll be paid on a monthly basis, the actual payouts. The next slide, I think, is just a reiteration of the My Enroller tool. First, go back. If you have not been contracted with Medico, get with John, make that happen. Once you are contracted, you will have access to download My Enroller. Highly encourage you to do so as soon as you get that contract completed. And then, again, just as easy as going back to visit with all of your current customers and helping them get that second policy, third policy within that household to increase that loyalty to you, increase your commissions, and really just make you more successful.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. There's a couple of questions that have come through. I think we've addressed some of them, but one of the pieces of follow-up that we will be sending out is a listing of the programs that are available through Medico and in which state they are available. There are questions that you addressed, Carrie, about ancillary plans being available to those under the age of 65. It would be my understanding that that might vary by plan type. Is that correct?
That's correct. So with dental, we covered that, and that goes down to age 18. The hospital indemnity starts at age 40.
Awesome. And that's it. Some of the other things were just basically some of the systems challenges that we had. I don't know why our system went a little kaflooey on us there for a bit, but what you're seeing now on the screen is the speed dating portion of today's presentation as we go through a version that I was afraid of the color not coming through as well. And this is one of the things that Carrie mentioned, that this is really a cool tool that Medico offers with the custom agent website that she addressed during the course of her presentation, and one that you contract with Medico, use this. It's an awesome tool. So what I'm going to do now for just a couple of minutes is give you some additional information about why you would want to work with Medico through Premier and some of the extra support that we provide. Contracting is done on programs electronically or by paper, but one of the things that you can do with our organization is set up an agent profile in Insurance Bay, store your information there, and then electronically contract with a number of different organizations without having to go through and fill out each bit of the paperwork through each of those organizations. Some companies support that, some do not. But as an independent agent, you also have to protect yourself, and that includes having errors and omissions coverage. In many cases, the carriers require it. This is a program that acknowledges the fact, this offering, that you are an independent insurance agent, and this coverage will take care of you regardless of the carrier that is involved, but also with whom you contract. We realize you have many opportunities to contract with many organizations. This will cover you across the board. Sometimes a blanket addition to an upline's E&O coverage doesn't qualify you for coverage across the board. We want to make certain that you are protected. One of the other things we do is make certain that your license stays in play, and this includes discounting continuing education through our association with WebCE. And as an independent agent, you maintain your own benefit package. Obviously, we would suggest that you work with the carriers with whom you contract and make use of their offerings. You've seen through today's presentation where Medico offers a number of attractive programs. I would encourage you to look into those for yourself as well, not only for the valuable coverage, but it's a nice sales tool when you visit with folks too. This is a program that is offered for our contracted agents with a disability income program, which Medico does not offer. So this is a great alternative for you. It's available at through a modified guarantee issue basis, discounted rates, and you share in that commission. Much as today's presentation is being recorded, and it, along with other information, will be sent to you as part of your expressing interest in today's presentation, we do have a listing of other programs that are available to you 24/7, recorded presentations, not only on product, but different marketing strategies that can be very valuable to you as well. As I mentioned, it is available on our website at premiersmi.com and also on YouTube. We do also offer additional tools that can help you sell, and particularly when you work with a carrier like Medico that offers a broad piece of what am I trying to say here, a portfolio of ancillary products, this particular quoting tool will allow you to do a number of things that can help you as you go into a household, and the base medical coverage is there for you. Carrie spoke of the My Enroller program, which is a great way to add to programs as well. This can help you identify some of those gaps. So if you go into a household and you encounter a Medicare Advantage program in play, utilizing an aspect of this quoting tool will allow you to fill in the gaps of that through this quoting tool with Medico. So it'll pull in the different coverages with different programs that can help you add that hospital indemnity program or dental coverage. A great way to help you in that regard. This tool has also the storage for your scopes of appointment. So if you're going out on a base Medicare education appointment and you collect that electronic scope ahead of time, this can do that for you, store it for you for those 10 years, and then you discuss the entire gamut of programs that are available for that individual. It also allows you to do electronic applications with many of the carriers through that program as well. We also have available to you, if you are a very adept at working in the Medicare Advantage or PDP space, another program that allows you to do that electronically. It also allows for the collection of electronic scopes and stores them, and it also gives you an opportunity to use this as a CRM for follow-up as well. So if you had been active with this during the past AEP, and you have obviously then your prospects and clients information in there, it gives you an opportunity to use this program as follow-up through the course of the year to reach out to your customer and prospect base. We also have a program that allows you to put your social media marketing efforts on autopilot through our Coverage Made Easy program. And we bundle in our website an opportunity for you to go in and examine the different carrier trips and incentives that are available to you. Carrie did a great job in visiting with us about that for hospital indemnity and the Medicare supplement programs through Medico. Those programs also help you qualify for Premier's trip as well. In addition to the monies that are paid to you through Medico, they help you qualify for our trip, which is this coming April, a cruise from Miami to the Bahamas. So if you're one of those sun worshipers, that's one to really aspire to. There's also some additional lead programs that we can make available for you. Many of the ancillary programs that come into play with Medico's portfolio do allow for telephone solicitation under correct circumstances. We can help you with a custom list if you are comfortable with Mobile, or you want to use that in a program of a direct mail type where you're looking for listings that can help you. It's available to you at a limited cost, or in some circumstances, no cost at all. We also make available information on different community-based marketing programs that deal with, well, the retail programs, the Walmart program. Believe it or not, that didn't stop at the end of AEP. It changes a little bit as to how much you want to be in a store, obviously, thereafter. But that's available to you not only through the Walmart program, but for other carrier-specific retail initiatives as well, or do-it-yourself type of program. We have trainings on that are recorded and available to you for access. It's a great way to go in and become the subject matter expert in your target market. Also, different ways of approaching faith-based organizations. And one of the great topics that are available for you in that area is the use of Medico's dental, vision, and hearing program, of great interest to the community and can be part of a regular rotation of programs that you offer through different centers of influence in your target market. We also help you with different programs on approaching the providers that deliver the care for the programs that we're insuring. So working with dentists or ophthalmologists or optometrists, different audiologists in that particular area can be very helpful for you. And utilizing the prospects that are available to be generated through the carrier support, like what Carrie showed us a little bit earlier as well. We do also offer different types of internet leads, and we have some different information available to you on Facebook leads. Our final expense department has been very active in that area, and we're rolling that out for the Medicare space as well. And we do offer direct mail support based on production. We have gone from 4 to 5 chosen partners in that area, and it gives us an opportunity then to deeply discount the cost of that direct mail based on your production. It's a month-to-month type of program, so it can really help you throughout the year. What we look to do is earn your business, and we're asking for that now, as a matter of fact. If you don't have a contract with Medico, we'll send you the information and we'll show you exactly how much money you can make in your market with what you look to do. It's also an opportunity for you that if you contract with Medico, how can we be more successful in offering that product portfolio? I think Carrie's presentation today gives us some ideas as to what it's worth to us, and it's an area that we cannot afford to ignore. That said, it depends upon you. If you feel that this would be a good part of your personal marketing program, let's get contracted, let's become familiar with the programs, and let's actively market. You can reach us here at Premier through our toll-free number at 1-800-365-8208 or through our website at premiersmi.com. We look forward to the conversation that we'll have, and in the meantime, we wish you good selling. That said and done, watch for the follow-up to today's presentation. Carrie, we thank you for your excellent presentation once again as well, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks so very much.